Alright guys, I got a message which goes, "Good morning. I'm doing a research on caliber 45. I would like to know why is this still popular in the Philippines until now. I knew this has been the standard sidearm in World War II and is still the standard issue sidearm in the Philippine military. But aside from those facts, do you have any idea why it is being used so often? I appreciate your expertise on this. Thanks, Steve." Well, Steve, let's answer your question why the caliber 45 is still popular in the Philippines until now. Number one, availability. Ammunition is readily available all over the country. First, I want to clear up that what you are referring to most likely is the 45 ACP cartridge. You mentioned caliber 45. Well, if we take a look at cartridges all over the world, or even just cartridges in the Philippines, there are different 45 caliber cartridges available. So to name a few, there's the 45 Colt or long Colt, which is commonly used in the revolvers. We also have the 454 Casull, which is a magnum or a stronger version of that. What else do we have? The 45 Gap or Glock auto pistol cartridge. Pardon me. And you can actually buy them in the country. They're not as common, but they are still there. So let's clarify that what we're talking about here is the 45 ACP or automatic Colt pistol cartridge. Next, we also have firearms that are readily available, chambered in 45 ACP. Locally, we have Philippine manufacturers that produce firearms in this chambering. Armscore, Metro Arms Corporation, Shooters Arms Manufacturing in Cebu, and others, which produce 1911s chambered in the 45 ACP cartridge. Internationally, if you enter a gun store or you walk into the gun show, you will see other makes or brands of firearms also offered in the 45 ACP cartridge. Glock 21 or the 36 or the Glock 30, HS 2000, Smith & Wesson's M&P line, the SIG P220 and other models, HK. We have other handgun or even carbine manufacturers that produce firearms chambered in 45 ACP, readily available. So number two, we have availability already of ammunition and firearms all over. Two is the gun culture. If we take a look at one of the most common manifestations in the country, practical shooting or sport shooting, the IPSC has a classic division in itself. So in this classic division, this is designed around the single stack classic 1911, which pretty much is your 45 Colt, as is commonly known, or the Colt 45, So the single stack 45 ACP 1911 is the most commonly used firearm in that division. Not to say that you can't use 40 Smith & Wesson or other calibers, but again, the 45 ACP is common over there. Number three, economics. You can buy factory ammunition, Armscore, of 45 ACP at 25 pesos per piece. That's not so bad if you compare that to rifle ammunition, which could cost you 60 pesos per piece or more. Going up to the exotic ammunition such as the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, which costs 250 pesos per piece, 10 times the price of the 45 ACP. Now, if 25 pesos per piece is a little expensive for you, you can opt for reloaded ammunition, which will cost as low as 8 pesos and 50 centavos to around 12 pesos. So half the price or even less, you can have the 45 ACP at your disposal. Number four, cartridge design. It is reliable. It's a low pressure cartridge. What does this mean? low pressure shooting in 21,000 psi, pounds per square inch, versus other cartridges like the 9mm Luger, which shoots at 35,000 psi. This means that a low pressure cartridge has less stress on the cartridge design in itself, also on the chamber of your firearm. This in turn means that you can reload it more, its case life lasts longer, and it's a good design in itself. It's effective, and if we look back at its history, again, dating back to the 1911, the 45 ACP was developed in around the year 1905 or around that time, so more than 100 years ago. It also has a rich history because it was designed in part due to the US-Philippine War, wherein the Americans developed this cartridge to battle the Moros, or these are the natives, the warriors in the south, so that's Mindanao area. So these tough badasses could take their 38 caliber revolvers and it would keep charging to the death. So they developed the 45 ACP and then coined that man-stopper reputation from 100 years ago, and until now it lives on. So I hope that answers your question. Why is it so popular? The 45 ACP is available. It's here in our gun culture, it's here to stay. Economically, it makes sense, and by design, it is pretty damn good.